my mind stayed on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on Spirit. Walking and talking with my mind. There you go. Stayed on Spirit. Walking and talking with my mind. Stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Take it away, Tony. Praising with my mind stayed on Spirit. I'm singing and praising with my mind stayed on Spirit. Singing and praising with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Go. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Yeah. Well, good morning.
Started playing swing.
What a gorgeous day. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. It's weekend. It's just want to acknowledge all of you who have served our country and served it well, and we appreciate that. I'm Dr. Vern, and I am standing in for Reverend Stephanie today. She's working with the youth, so that's a pretty cool thing. She does that on every month when we have 5 Sundays, so that's the story behind that. So I want to welcome you to CSL Parker. I'm not real good at following all the directions I'm supposed to read and all that stuff. So if you'll bear with me, I will get the job done. Mm-hmm. So we at CSL fulfill our mission by providing workshops, classes, and being of service to the local community and the world. This month we have a pet food drive going on because there are a lot of pets in need of food and nourishment. So if you have pet food you'd like to donate, bring it and put it at the table at the back of the room. If you're here with us for the very first time, I want to extend a great welcome to you. And if you don't mind filling out a welcome card that we have, it would be great because it allows us to contact you for announcements of events and things like that. We won't sell our list to anyone, so you're safe that way. Let's see. On platform with me today is Dr. Yvonne Levy, and she is an awesome lady. She was a student, and we've worked together before, and it's just a great delight to be back with her. We realized this morning we've never been on platform together before, so that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And providing our announcements today will be Joe Albers. So, Joe, I see you're in the store this morning. Good for you. We have practitioners who have gone through 4 years of training and who are really excellent with doing prayer work. So if you are in need of prayer, or you just want to celebrate with someone, please see a practitioner. They will meet with you in the back of the room after service. And how you know that a practitioner is who they are was beside their glow. They should be wearing practitioner stoles if they're in duty. So, Felina, would you mind standing so they can see? That's what the stole looks like.
Yeah.
Thank you, Felina. And these practitioners can assist you with what we call 1-minute miracles. Oh, it's good to see you all. All right. Now, I told you I'm rusty. Let me see. Our next thing is
music.
I know. I'm just getting to it. I like to do my Bob Newhart imitation occasionally, you know. Well, anyway, music, please.
Yes.
At the center of Spiritual Living Parker, we honor all paths to the divine. This candle lighting service highlights 7 of those paths. Our theme for this month is emotions. Fits, doesn't it? We light the first candle to honor Christianity. Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. We light the second candle to honor Judaism. But feelings can't be ignored, no matter how unjust or ungrateful they seem. We light the third candle to honor Buddhism. You must be at one with your emotions, because the body always follows the mind. We light the fourth candle to honor Confucianism. Not feeling compassion for a stranger is like not feeling when one's foot has caught fire. We light the fifth candle to honor New Thought. Instead of resisting any emotion, the best way to dispel it is to enter it fully, embrace it, and see through your resistance. We light the sixth candle to honor Hinduism. This world would be a better place if we tried to understand the feelings of others. And we light the seventh and final candle to honor Sikhism. Sweetness and humility are the essence of virtue and goodness. Today's reading is from this thing called You, Ernest Holmes, chapter 9. With a good-natured flexibility with yourself, learn to rise from confusion into peace, from sadness into joy. There's no law for you, but your own soul shall set it, under the one great law of life. Turn to the light within. Believe in yourself. Have confidence in the high impulsions that come to you. Listen deeply to the divine nature which forevermore imparts itself to you. Spirit is absolute, unlimited, and ever available. Spirit is right where you are. Spirit fills all space, flows through all form, creates everything, governs everything through love, controls everything through law, expresses life and beauty in everything. I ask you to take these words as your own, and you say,
and so it is.
I'm going to keep going here. There is one power, one presence, and one life. This, just take it in as your own. You don't have to say it out loud because it'll get a little confusing. There is one power, one presence, one life. The living Spirit is right where I am, within, around, and through me. I am in Spirit. Spirit is in me. Spirit sees through me, thinks in my mind, and acts through my acts. This wellspring of life flowing up through me knows no obstructions, no congestion, no imperfection. There is a pattern of perfection at the center of my being, a divine and heavenly pattern of wholeness. Every organ, action, and function of my being is spiritual. The Spirit is perfect in every part of my being. I live in peace, in joy, and in perfect life. And please join me in saying, and so it is.
Look around and everything you see is merely now picturing of what's going on inside your consciousness. what you see. Change your mind and your belief. Keep what's working for you and throw out the rest. Easy's the other side of tough. Smooth is the other side of rough. Down is just the other side of up. And it's all the same stuff. Since God is all there is, you see, what else could anything else be? It's all the same stuff. You can rearrange it any way you want. I'm not trying to get mystical, scientific, psychological. I'm just stating the plain and simple case. Whatever you think most about seems to always come about. End up staring us right in the face. Easy's the other side of tough. Smooth is the other side of rough. Down is just the other side of up. And it's all the same stuff. Since God is all there is, you see, what else could anything else be? It's all the same stuff. You can rearrange it any way you want. Take it away, Tony. Sing it with us if you'd like. Well, it's all the same stuff. Since God is all there is, you see, what else could anything else be? It's all the same stuff. You can rearrange it any way you want. We'll sing it one more time. Yes, it's all the same stuff. Since God is all there is, you see, what else could anything else be? It's all the same stuff. You can rearrange it any way you want.
What about that CSL Parker band? Are they great or what? Yes. I brought Kleenex up because I have a story to tell you. When you're doing a talk like this, you're moved by a lot of things. And would you agree it's been a tough week? And a couple of tough weeks, actually, with Buffalo and then the Uvalde, Texas thing. And those of you who don't know me, I'll explain. I usually awaken like 3:30 in the morning, and that's when I commune with my spirit. And yesterday morning, I was advised to tear up my talk and just speak from my heart to your hearts. Because the topic for today is low tide, high tide. And I don't know about you, but I've experienced a full range of emotions this week. And having been an elementary school principal for 100 years, I really see the responsibility we have to keep our children safe. And in fact, I have survived 2 drive-by shootings in my school experience. And so it's really quite personal. And I've had a great challenge this week, really being centered in my own spirit. And I thought if that's happening with me, it might be happening with at least 1 or 2 of you. And my gauge is, how connected do I feel to my own source? And I was absolutely disconnected. Because we teach love, we preach love, we act love, and a lot of these events that occur, I don't understand them at all. I do not. Not one particle of it. And so I thought, well, at least what I'll share with you this morning is my journey from being disconnected and separated to one of finding a place back in spirit. I like to call it my own heaven on earth. And because it's a beautiful place to live. And isn't it easy that we get obsessed or distracted with the world events? And pretty soon, if we're not careful, we begin to become reactors and not observers. Oh, I know what happened. Looking for Kleenex. I brought them up because I knew. And there's Kleenex at the end of each row if you need one. So I'm looking at it and saying, well, if I don't know anything and I don't understand anything, why would I waste my time judging? Because what our world is experiencing right now, it seems to me, is a lot of separation and division. And you know what shocked me the most? Is that I am part of that division. It pains me to tell you that, but it's true. Because get this. Yes, there are people who do things that make it easy to judge them, right? And then I look at it and say, well, if I'm judging them for being wrong, then what is going on with me? That's where I'd invite you to look this morning. Because it's that thing that we look with is that part of us that creates our own heaven or hell. I'm trying to figure out who decided that we were judge, jury, and executioner. And I don't know about you, but that's something I'm willing to put down. It's a heavy burden to carry. The Course in Miracles talks about letting go of judgment. Because judgment is merely an illusion that we carry because we think we know how everything ought to be arranged in this world. Am I right? Absolutely. So I'll tell you this, when we can let that all go, we can feel tremendous relief because we're no longer, in our perception, in charge of the universe. There is a source that is greater than I am, that knows. So how do we lead ourselves back from the chasm that we have created? Well, where I would start is to stop looking out there. In my opinion, there is no they out there that's doing it to us. There is no they out there that's... I look at history, and it goes way beyond Hitler and way beyond Putin and way beyond whom we think are the evildoers. So it's not new. Oh, so what do we do about all that? Well, the first step is to stop looking out there. How many times in your life have you heard someone say, they say? Well, I would sure like to know who they are. So, does it make any sense to trust any an anonymous they? There's only one place we can get really, truly connected with truth, and that's with our source, which we discover within. So, here's what I would ask you. Who is in charge of you? Is it Putin? Is it COVID? Is it the shooters? Is it the Proud Boys? Is it inflation? All of those are out there. So when we come home within, then we can start to discover our answers for this. I have had the privilege of teaching foundations class, the beginning science of mind class, and in there used to be, I don't know if there still is, an exercise called what do you want? And we would pair students off and they would ask each other, well, what do you want? And then they'd answer that and no, we'd say no. What do you really want to experience? And they'd answer that and we'd say no, not good enough. And about at that time, the other students ready to come out of the chair and maybe take a swing at us, and we go, well, that would just be more violent. So, the question is, what divine attribute do you want to experience with whatever's going on? It could be love, peace, harmony, perfect health, harmony. Great word, isn't it? And then we go, so, in the midst of all this, what do you really want to experience? I'm asking you now for real. This is not pretend any longer. It's no longer a story. So what do you really want to experience in light of all these tragedies and these challenges that are occurring? Well, that's where I got to this week, in that long unraveling of what's going on in the world. Because this is the month of emotions with CSL. And so I don't know about you, but I experienced anger. I experienced annoyance. Any word that might describe anything that caused agitation. I used to tell my students, I love metaphors. And I used to say, you know, life is a lot like a wash machine. If you want to get your clothes clean, they have to be agitated. Well, have you been agitated this week? I sure have. But after the agitation, we can take a look at it and say, so what is going to be my rinse cycle? How am I going to rinse all that away? Because here's the thing. We should not mistake the idea that emotions are wrong. There is nothing wrong with a good emotion. And I believe it's healthy to let ourselves experience whatever emotion we have. There's a fallacy in religious science sometimes. People think, well, I'm a religious science person, so I should always be perfect. And I should always tell, and when people ask me how I am, I always say I'm amazing. Because that lifts me and brings me to a new place wherever I am in this world. Oh, I forgot when I was told to discard that old talk, that left me pretty much groundless. So here I am making it up as I go. So I appreciate your patience, and I will tell you, I will get lost a few times because I don't know what's next. And I don't even know where I was. Where was I? All right. Recycle. Oh, yes, we're rinsing. By the way, I feel so bad. I forgot to introduce you to my newest household pet. This is Esmerelda. I call her Esme. Now, you probably wonder, why would I drag this precious little kitty to church with you? By the way, if I turn the batteries on, she will meow and she will roll over and she will ask me to scratch her belly. But I'll tell you what, the litter box challenge is gone. It is gone. Okay, now I'm lost again. I'm back with the kitty. No, the rinse cycle, that was yesterday. I'm talking about Esme. And what does she have to teach me? First of all, when I tell her about the world events, and I tell her about the tragedy in Texas, she just lets it go. Life is so much like one of our beautiful Colorado streams. Oh, I had a water feature installed in my backyard. Love it. And I watched the water travel down this waterfall. And when the water comes to a rock or some obstacle, do you think it stops? No. Right answer. It just keeps moving. It just goes around whatever obstacle is there. I wonder if we are designed like that too, where if we really want to experience our divine nature, could we just let life flow? Instead of stopping and making a big ceremony out of our judgments. as much as it means to Esme is what I think it should mean to me. So can I just let it go? I hope so. Now this week, the water stopped flowing because I got stuck. And that happens in life sometimes. But it's what we do. Yes, you'll be all right. It's what we do with that that will create our heaven or our hell on earth. So, to summarize a little bit, what we do is we go from out there, the continual parade, and the media feeding us fear on a regular basis. I have this expression that I use because I do experience living in the kingdom of heaven. And so what I say is every word I speak, every thought I think, every action I perform, and every boundary I set sustains my residency in the kingdom of heaven. And now, why is the boundary part so important? Because what I learned this week is, yes, I can go sit and watch the news. Is the news everywhere? Our computers, our iPhones, our televisions, our radios, it's everywhere. So my boundary is to stop listening, to stop watching, and especially for me, when somebody's speaking it to me, I tend to absorb it more. So if I want to keep up on what's going on, I'll glance at the newspaper and say, okay, this is what the story is. Because one day when I was watching, then all of a sudden there's the story. Then there's the after story, and then there's the after story of the after story. Well, the sheriff's department didn't do this, they did this, whatever. Oh, I have to tell you a quick aside. We completed the course this week of Happiness is a Serious Problem. And the students were assigned to create a recipe for happiness. And then, to make it a little more complicated, we said only 5 ingredients in your recipe. And that caused a few people to scratch their head, and what they came up with was profound. Well, what was on the list? A common denominator was forgiveness. Now, forgiveness at 2 levels. Here's what I've learned, because I'm older than most of you, except you two. Sorry, I had to say that. Is that every time I want to forgive, I always have to forgive twice. It's a package deal. I forgive outside of me and always come home and forgive here. Because I will usually have judged some part of it that I need to forgive myself for. So our journey is complex. Our journey is filled with life. But you and I, are in charge. And Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, I mean, I like a lot of things he did and said, but the most profound was he taught us a 5-step prayer process that works all the time. And if you're experiencing any fallout from this week, please see a practitioner after service. So, we ask, what do I really want to experience? We are in charge. you and I. And I think it is such a great gift that we have these choices. And that we can look at things either in a negative light or in an affirmative way. So I'm happy to tell you that I have returned. And I know that you will or have. So let's stop destroying our own peace. Let's stop allowing the world to kick us. When I was a kid growing up, we had comic books then. And there was always this one advertisement on the back cover of the comic book. You remember it? It was this big, muscular guy like me kicking sand on this other little guy that didn't fight back. And we don't have to take it anymore, you guys. We don't have to take it anymore. We are in charge. And here's what I'd say about high tides and low tides. We can accept the high tides and the low tides in our lives, but how about this? How about we create our tides? Now, doesn't that go along with my metaphor of the washing machine? Tide? So we create our own tides because we're in charge. Let's have a prayer. It is with a great sense of joy and gratitude that I have the honor to speak these words with you today, knowing that that freedom that we seek lies within. And all we need to do is to get very clear on what is it that I would like to experience with my life right here, right now. And I know for all of us, of course we choose the kingdom of heaven because it is ours and because it lies within. Isn't it interesting that our salvation is within us right now? I bless this prayer. I bless you in your journey, in your agitation, in your rent cycle, in all parts of your life. I declare the very best for you on this beautiful Memorial Day weekend. So I say, go with the grace of God. And now, help me seal this prayer by declaring with me, and so it is.
God is, I am right here, right now, right here, right
Before we go to our offering, I want to point out this beautiful sign that Vicki created for us.
Yay.
The Summer of Joy. Vicki, thank you so much. And these sunflowers, I discovered this, besides being the state flower of Kansas, they are also in the Ukraine. And do you know that these sunflowers absorb the nuclear toxins in the soil? And they plant a lot of these around places like Chernobyl. And so it's just like love in our lives absorbs our toxins. These do that for the soil. Now, having said that, blah, 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 it is time for our offering. Please know that your gifts and offerings are used responsibly as we endeavor to provide spiritual tools for personal and community transformation. Your money enlightens the community of Parker and the area, and enlightens the world. Money is God in action. There are so many ways to do good works, and your giving is one of those ways. So please take your gifts into your hand, or if you give electronically, please take your gift into your heart and affirm with me. I give this gift for you.
I give this gift for you.
I give this gift for me.
I give this gift for me.
Together we are community.
Together we are community.
Together we prosper.
Together we prosper.
And so it is. And
So it is.
Kenny and Felina are going to come gather our...
Talent, time, and treasure. We have to keep. It's what we have to share. And how we live in the law of circulation. It's passing on the gift. Talent, time, and treasure. We are blessed. We are blessed. Talent, time, and treasure. It's what we have to give. It's what we have to share. And how we live in the law of circulation. It's passing on the gift. With talent, time, and treasure, we are blessed. We are blessed.
Okay, if Kenny will come forward, I would like to take this time to bless your generous offerings and know that it goes out and multiplies and returns to each of us manyfold. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, this is our time for the announcement. So let's bring up Joe Albers. Joe, please.
Tasting. I mean testing.
You got
Good
it.
morning, good morning, good morning. What? You know how
morning,
much
good morning, good morning.
courage? You know how much courage that takes to just get up here
Yeah.
and talk from the heart? Whoa. Nice job. Nice job.
Yep.
I think I heard a meow. But isn't this table beautiful? Oh
Yep.
my gosh. You guys touch my heart so deeply. It's just, almost too much sometimes. But Lots of exciting things coming up here in the next week and the next month. And when Dr. Vern talked about going within, you know one of the best ways to do that? Meditation. And you know what we have here? We have all these practitioners that can take us into these deep meditations. So how wonderful. Take advantage of that every service before 9:30 a.m. Our theme for next Sunday, or for the next month, I should say, is the body. So that'll be interesting to see for those of you that are kinesthetic. Hey, does anybody know what that word means? Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't. So youth ministry, which is so cool that Reverend Stephanie is doing right now today. I think that's awesome. So please bring your kids or grandkids or whatever, because we need the kids. Kids are nothing but yay. Did you hear that? See? You know what that is? That's love in action. That's spontaneity. That's the heart, isn't it? That's what it's all about. And kids just exemplify that. So it's just so beautiful. And the spiritual request prayer, comes through all of our practitioners as well too. You can sign up online for that if you want. And then we have sign up sheets back here, on the table with the white cloth. So those are for the Parker Days and bringing food and other things. And these ladies over here, you think they're there to serve us? No, they're standing guard over the food because they're kind of concerned that some people might get up early, and they send them back. So stay seated. I will get through this, okay? And I know you're hungry, so I'll try to go faster, but I don't think that's possible. Yeah. So anyway, it's hard to find good help, especially at the price that I get paid, So back to all this, that we have the Botanic Gardens, the event coming up here soon on June the 4th at 10 a.m. And you have to get your tickets in advance. Reverend Stephanie's going to be there and leading the group. So that is just a touching event that I think is coming up soon. So, and then June 10th through the 12th is what? And I just made Hans yawn. I mean, you talk about, I get the message. I know this is boring. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. He's hungry. So we do need the volunteers for the booth. We have a booth there, and we're going to be doing lots of fun things. So sign-up sheets back there. 6 p.m. on Wednesdays is the Reverend Stephanie's Facebook live chat. And then she has the blog post as well. And for June, it's called Daily Choices. She can help you with your pastoral counseling, creating rituals for your life, etc. And Reverend Stephanie has a new class starting, Wild Mercy, Living the Fierce and Tender Women of the Women's Mystic, featuring Mirabai Starr. And that begins May 26th. From 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. on Thursdays, and it runs for 6 weeks, and you decide the offering that you want to do. And then in addition, Dr. Vern has a new class starting called Thriving Through Uncertainty, and that's a book. We're going to be using the book by Tama Keeves, and it begins on Wednesdays and Thursdays, June 22nd and June 23rd at 10 a.m., and it runs for 6 weeks. The offering is $105. However, if we have new people that want to take that course, Dr. Vern has generously offered 50% off the class. The board decided that. And guess who's in charge of the board?
Yay. Woo.
There's no hope for me, There's no hope. I just keep showing up. So anyway, that is those classes, as you well know, are just powerful. And the easiest way to get all this information, again, is on the links that go through the cslparker.org site. And I will finish with the thought that, we are love. And love saves everything. Everything. And thinking loving thoughts changes the energy of us. It changes the energy of the world and the energy of the universe. That's how powerful it is. That's how powerful we are. And we can't forget that, because when we have the power in our hearts, we have the power to be whoever we want to be. And your love conquers all, and we are the place where love shows up. Love knows no fear. Love knows no fear. Close the mind, open your heart, say yes. Fear says no, love says yes. The mind says no, the heart says yes. And when we say yes, we show up at our very best. Thank you.
Thank you. Yay. Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. We're going to have a closing prayer, and then, I think there's food over there. All right, so let's just go within for a moment and say thank you, Spirit, for the spiritual bounty and the food bounty this morning, and all who have prepared it and brought it and organized it and all the pieces. So this week, do your own laundry. And clean that soul. So I bless you in your journey and declare life to be good and very good. And join me now in saying, besides, let's eat, and so it is.
And so it is.
I release it, I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. 'Cause I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Please and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God.
Yay.
Wave those flags. Have a beautiful week.
Woo.
There's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when that love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the moonlit nights with your lover. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. It's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on a wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. That's the reason. There's a reason for the warm, sweet nights, and there's a reason for the candle lights. Must be the season when those love lights shine all around us. So let that wonder take you into space and lay you under It's lovely